Welcome back to Good Morning San Diego. Everyone's reacting to what happened last night in the debate in Simi Valley, and none other than San Diego County District Attorney Bonnie Dumanis. Also, you watched last night. What was your impression?
I did watch indeed, and I've been listening to everybody talk about it. I think Carly Fiorina knocked it out of the park, and I especially liked her response about Donald Trump's mention of her face.
Right, her looks. She had
looks.
a perfect response, and I
Yes.
think something that a lot of women, you know, especially female voters, can relate to.
Like she said, we heard it.
Yeah.
And we knew exactly what he was saying. And then his response was so offensive. I can't even believe it.
I know.
So do you think Trump has any legs to continue, or do you think they're going to tire of him?
Well, I think we're all starting to tire of him. He came across personally attacking several times, just again, even when he said to Rand Paul,
Talking about Rand Paul's looks.
without talking about it, he says, "Oh, I'm not even going to say anything," even though there's plenty of stuff to say about your looks, right? Okay.
Who do you think really emerged, though?
I thought Chris Christie emerged. I thought Marco Rubio emerged again. He emerged, I thought, in the first debate, too, but I thought even more so. But Chris Christie, I think, really was able to be more assertive. Jeb Bush, to me, is too tentative all the time. I think he, you used a word this morning, I forget what it was, Carlos, sheepish. He comes across sheepish sometimes, even when he's trying to be firm. Yes, knock it out. He was funny about the Eveready,
That was a good line.
That was a good
line.
Well, yeah, as a politician, you always have to look at these things and learn from the experience. Yeah, and you see that people are very tired of the same old, so this is changing the dynamic, so Donald Trump has done that, so that's really interesting.
But I really do wish the media would stop rewarding his bad behavior, because it is a bad message you don't want somebody who's a president just calling everybody out and calling them names. I just think that that's totally inappropriate.
With that,
yes, let's get
serious about the real issues here in San Diego. And there was some horses in Hamul that were abused, and so now there is some fallout from that.
Well, no, what happened is the animal control, which is the investigating body here, discovered these animals that appeared to be abused, and there are allegations that they may be abused. So what they did was take those animals away to treat them so that they would get healthy again. But now what follows is an investigation about why were they emaciated, or why were they needing, these things, and what happened. And once they do the investigation, then they will bring it to the district attorney's office to review the facts and the evidence and determine whether or not there is any criminal liability, whether it's negligence or malicious.
But how can you retry something that's already been tried? What's that process?
That's a different, separate topic. So
okay.
On the animal case, that's not even been tried yet. That's not even been fully investigated.
Got it. I'm sorry, I confused the two, yes.
Confused the two issues. So we'll look at it when they complete their investigation. One of the things that we've been very aggressive on is animal abuse cases.
What happens with those animals, though, now?
The animals are taken into custody and are put into place either...
Like a fostering?
Like fostering, or animal control has a way to keep them as well, and they will give them food, they will give them treatment, they will have them medically examined, those kinds of things. Animal control is very passionate about caring for the animals, so when they see something like that, they respond, and really look at it. And when we get those cases too, we do about 150 cases, I think we've done, of animal abuse cases. If it's a dog, boy, you don't mess with me.
Right. Now, the case that Carlos is talking about is the Robert Noel Anderson case, Dehesa Elementary School teacher accused of some with children, and there was a mistrial.
Right.
So a hung jury on certain cases.
I'm sorry, I completely disconnected. Yeah,
but that's okay.
Sorry about that.
We'll correct it. So what happened is there was a trial on the child molestation case, which happened many years ago.
Right.
And those children are now adults. The jury hung on 11 counts and acquitted on 1 count. Okay. So what happens next is we will review the case, talk and roundtable the case together to decide whether or not we want to retry the case. So it goes back to court in October, and we will answer in front of the judge. The defense may make a motion to dismiss it. the judge is going to ask us how we want to proceed, and we will, based on everything, decide whether or not we want to retry the case. But, you know, these are child molest cases are difficult cases in general, and when you put years between when it happened, those are always much more difficult. Chantal Demonier is an excellent trial lawyer. She, you know, put forward a great case, but those cases, you know, people are a little bit shy about, you know, those kinds of cases.
So what's the likelihood of going forward on
you know, we haven't roundtabled it yet, so nice try. But
come on, Bonnie.
But we don't know yet.
And it would be on those which charges?
On the 11
on the 11 ones that were
what that means is some of the people believed it should be guilty, some of the people believed it should be not guilty. And so we have to look behind what some of those reasons might have been. We have to discuss the evidence, and we have to talk about it with the victims too, about what their thoughts and feelings are about going forward, because that's very traumatic.
And remind me the one charge that was already set aside.
That was a molest charge as well.
So that one's out.
So that one's out.
That one's out completely.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at it, and we'll know by October when we go back to court.
Does it play a role at all that, you know, this is a man in an authority figure as a teacher, and these are children when we're talking about a jury was hung on certain issues, but I mean, these are children. I mean,
of course, it's concerning.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be moving forward if we weren't concerned. But we also have an obligation to look at the case now and see whether or not it's appropriate to go forward again. And we'll do that. And the process is quite intense. We sit around a table with a lot of experienced lawyers who will talk about what happened to the case, what the issues are, how it would work if we were to retry it. And sometimes retrying cases better than the first time because
you already know the strategy.
You already know what the strategy is. In fact, you're in the middle of a retrial. We're in the middle of a retrial now up in North County.
All right, Bonnie.
Bonnie, thank you.
Good to see you.